Hello, good evening, and welcome to another Facebook Live session. You are all welcome. I hope you can hear me live and clear. Live and clear. This evening, we'll be looking at building an export business plan. What investors want to see. Building an export business plan. What investors want to see. You are welcome. You can just put in the comments that you can hear me loud and clear and that you've been learning from our Facebook Live series. You can also help by sharing the links with those you know that need these lessons, those you know that need this knowledge. So this is a free live platform, and we've been discussing and teaching very good export lessons and presentations, things that can help improve your export business in the marketplace. Okay, so let's dive right into what we are looking at or what we are doing today, which is building an export business plan. What investors want to see. What investors want to see in your business plan. In your business plan. So every export business needs a plan, just like every business that are out there needs a business plan. So most times we see different businesses, different business plans for different businesses out there, but there is actually some little things that makes a difference or that distinct between a business plan, that is a general business plan, and an export business plan. Okay, so every export business needs a plan, but investors only fund clear, credible, and scalable plans. All right. So in the case of a general business plan, you are creating that business plan, as an operational guide, as an operational manual concerning your business. All right. So investors can actually go through it, clients can go through it, employees can go through it, partners, etc. But in the case of an export business plan, what you are trying to do now is that you are trying to create an export model for your product, maybe a manufactured product or product that you are actually producing yourself. So you are creating a guide on how you can create a global market around that product. So that's actually what creates that uniqueness for an export business plan. Okay, so in an export business plan, you are looking at global competition, foreign regulations, trade risks, the target market, like the international market that you are looking at, the breakdown of the commodities or the products that you want to export. What makes it acceptable in the in the importing country or in the target market or target country that you are looking at. So all these also matters when you are creating your export business plan. Okay, so we'll be looking at why investors care about this plan, about this export business plan. Why does investors care? So investors want to see, one, market opportunity size. They want to see the size of the market opportunity that is out there. Investors want to see the risk management strategy that you have. They want to see scalability and profitability. They want to see a clear financial projection. And this works for different products. That is, what you are producing or manufactured can be palm oil, so it can be XYZ premium palm oil, and you can create an export business plan around that XYZ premium palm oil. Okay, and it could be groundnuts, it could be peanuts, it could be coconut chips, It could be anything. It could be anything that you know that there is a target market for outside the country, and there are buyers who are interested in buying it. So it could be processed or manufactured products, and it could be raw materials, it could be raw commodities, agricultural commodities, it could be livestock protein, it could be forest products, it could be any of the categories of exportable products or commodities out there. So banks and investors assess these plans for viability, compliance, and return on investment. And return on investment. So what are the key sections of an export business plan? What are the key sections of an export business plan? Just like what you have in the case of a general business plan, like I said, it's really similar, but there are just little differences around it. There are just little differences around it, and we are going to be looking at those differences now. So number one, we have executive summary. Just like you have in the general business plan, also there is executive summary. The executive summary is just a snapshot of your business, your project, your product, your target market, and financial ask, what you're actually looking for from your investor. So but in this case, you want to make sure that everything you are putting into your export business plan is narrowed down to the international market, in the sense that it's export centric. It's not just an operational guide. You can have the general business plan for your business, right? But you should have a separate export business plan for your international trade, or the global market that you are targeting, or that you want to structure for your export business. Okay, this is really important, because it is also going to, this is where you talk about the day-to-day operational process or activities for your trade desk or for your international trade department. Really important. So number two is company profile, where you just talk about your company, your registration, all the licenses and regulations that you are compliant with, that helps you export, that helps you have a competitive advantage in the international market, and your export readiness. Okay, so if you've taken like an export readiness test of the Lagos School of Exports Management, you can just insert your report in your company profile. You can do that. Just go to you can take that test by going to ready.lsem.org.ng, ready.lsem.org.ng, so you can get our export readiness test from there. Okay, so from there we can look at the third section. We have products or service description. So in this case, you are talking more about your service, about your products rather, the commodities, the whatever that you are producing, or that you are getting directly from the market. Okay, so what are you exporting? What's the category of what you are exporting? What type of product is it? Are you the one producing it, or are you just getting it from somewhere, someone supplying you, or is it something that maybe someone is also producing, then the person is supplying you? Do a description there. So you also talk about compliance with international standard. Do you have NAFDAC? Is it certified by SON? Do you have the halal certification, HACCP, ISO? So all those you also put there. It doesn't matter if you don't have any of those currently, but you just know that these are something that you are working towards, or you are working to actually get. So you can just do a tabular format, list these standards or certifications or licenses that you are supposed to have, that helps with compliance, and you mark it. You mark those you have, you mark those that you don't have. So unique selling points, which is your USP. What are your unique selling points? What's the quality of what you are exporting? Is it organic? Is it inorganic? Is it genetically modified or not? What's the origin and all that? So you put all those under your product description. Then number 4, we look at market analysis. Market analysis, that's where you talk about the target countries. Why are you even targeting those countries? Have you done some research? Has those research showed you some statistics, or you've gotten some insights into those target countries? So this is where you are supposed to put that. Okay, so demand trends, competitor landscape, buyer personas, wholesalers, retailers, diaspora. That is actually telling you that is your strategy direct exports or indirect exports. So that should come under your market analysis. So for instance, let me just give you an example. Like if you want to export wood charcoal, or let's say something like raw cashew nuts. So there are some countries that buy more raw cashew nuts from Nigeria, like India, like Vietnam, like Bangladesh, and countries around that route. So if that's what you want to do, or you want to export, for instance, that could be one of your target countries. However, if you have a different strategy, you might have some other target countries. So because your strategy is different, then you might want to talk about what led to your decision in your market analysis. That's what helps your investors to understand what you're actually doing. Then you have marketing and sales strategy in number 5. How you reach buyers. How do you intend to reach buyers? How do you intend to reach them? Do you intend to attend trade fairs? Trade fairs in India, in Bangladesh, in Dubai, in the UK, in Nigeria, or other African countries? Are there digital platforms you want to use to promote, like Facebook and co, sponsored ad, and all these things? So how do you intend to do that? Do you intend to use distributors? Distributors are more of indirect form of exporting, like I mentioned earlier. So pricing strategies, are you which Incoterm are you using for your pricing strategy? Is it free on board? Is it cost, insurance and freight? Is it cost and freight? Then there are also distribution channels. The distribution channels, these are routes talking about re-exportation, indirect exporting, and what have you. You can make use of wholesalers, of partners, or maybe other people living within that country helping you to warehouse and to distribute to other small scale sellers of your products in those target countries. Okay, because the target countries now are also your target market. Then you have operations and logistics, supply chain, from farmer to the producer to the port to the buyer. So what's your supply chain like? If it's a product you are the one manufacturing, what's the supply chain like? Is there a raw material that comes to you or that is sent to you from another market or from somewhere? So how do you run that? And once you are done with your production, how do you get these products to the port, to the buyer? Which port are you using? Is it airport? Is it seaport? So you need to, is it a consignment? So what are the shipping methods, for instance? The Incoterms, are you going to be using freight forwarders? Is your staff going to be the one in charge of these consignment or of these shipments? So you need to also list that all out. And if it's your staff, is your staff knowledgeable about it? Have you trained him or her? What experience do they have when it comes to freight forwarding? So these are just some of the things that you also need to understand. Then risk management, delays, spoilage, exchange rate fluctuations. These are just some of the risks. And don't forget, while you are listing your risks, you also want to make sure that you put in ways to mitigate this risk. Ways to mitigate this risk, really important. Then you talk about management and team. management and team. That is, what's your management team like? Who are the who is running the business, the day-to-day operations of the business? What's the credibility and the experience of the founders? So who is going to be managing your head of trade, your head of international trade? Who is going to be managing your exports? Who are your buyer sourcing agents? Your partners? So you just need to list this and talk about it. And then we also look at number 8, that is financial projections. These are the very important parts for the investors now. So we look at the startup cost, the export cost, your export pricing models, your Incoterms, the kind of quantity that you can do in a month, quantity of export, what are the minimum orders that buyers can actually order from you. So you can now use that to do your financial projection, to say that, oh, I can do 5 containers in a month, I can do 10 containers in a month. That means I can do 120 containers in a year on an annual basis. And if one container is going for, let's say, around maybe $40,000, then in a month, if I'm doing just 5 or I'm doing 10, I'm actually expecting about $400,000. And you can do your calculations and your projections that way. And you can that can also relate to your revenue forecasts, and you can use that forecast to do your break-even point analysis, your return on investment. How do you intend to actually finance your business? What are the strategies you have in place? Is it friend and family? Is it equity? Is it bank loans, export grants that you are going to be using? So you also pan out your strategy in this section. And then from here, you also look at funding requests. So what are you actually looking? I mentioned financial ask the other time. So what's your funding request? How much do you actually need? You need to put that down. So how will you use this capital, this money you want to bring in? You have to put in the breakdown for the investor. So let's say, for instance, what you are looking at is that if I get an export contract that will cost me about $50,000, my strategy is that my buyer should be able to pay at least 10% advanced commitment fee. That makes about $5,000, meaning that I still have $45,000 balance, right? So if I have that $5,000 advance payment, I tell my buyer to cover the balance of $45,000 with a letter of credit, and I can show that letter of credit to my investor, and my investor can use that to do other paper transactions, and I can get the financing I need for the balance of the money. Or whether my strategy is going to be that, it's the contract I'm working on is $50,000, I need $25,000 advance and a cash against document of the balance of $25,000. But either way, you have to be able to structure out your funding request, because every investor, every financier wants to know that the money I'm paying out or that I'm giving you is actually coming back. That's the most important thing. So how do they want to get paid? Even sometimes when you go to commercial banks and say that this is a letter of credit and all that, and you need financing and you need funding, by the time they look into the export contract and they are not sure that their money is coming back, or how are they getting their money back, you are not getting that fund. Okay, so that also happens a lot. Right, so common mistakes to avoid in your export business plan. One is overestimating revenue. So do not overestimate the revenue, your revenue forecast, your projections. Okay, so ignoring compliance and certifications. You want to make sure you have all your certifications. If your target country has to do with Islam, is an Islamic centered country or nation, like the Emirates, for instance, you want to make sure you have your halal certification. This is very, very important. So the halal certification is even more important than NAFDAC, okay, than having a NAFDAC number on the product, because you can use your health certificates from NAFDAC to cover your shipment, but the halal certification on your product, really important. I mean the mark on your product. So lack of risk mitigation plan copying and pasting generic business plan without export specific details. So this is why I said your business can have a general business plan, but it's always really important that you have an export business plan. So an export business plan will not take you a loss, because you are not talking about everything you already wrote in your general business plan. But in this case, you are just focused on international trade for your products and for your commodities. So whether your business is a fashion business, your business can be in fashion, can be in food, can be in production, in FMCG, in agriculture, in livestock, in whatever it is. You can be focused on producing soup ingredients, producing spices, producing protein or other commodity or product. Whatever it is, you can build an export plan around it for a winning international and global market. Okay, so in conclusion, a winning export business plan must prove product viability, market demand, compliance, risk control, and profitability. This is really important. Okay. All right. So by Wednesday or Friday, we should also have another live session. So do well not to miss any of our live session. Just you can bookmark our post so that you can have a reminder, and you can also register through the links that are posted on our Facebook page. All these videos also, you can watch it on our YouTube pages. And if you're interested in any of our classes, courses, or programs, you can just go to www.lsem.org.ng. LSEM, that is Lagos School of Export Management. And if you have any issue that you want to discuss with us or partner with us or want us to look into, send us an email to info@lsem.org.ng. info@lsem.org.ng. Thank you very much, and God bless you. I'll see you in the next class.